Hello students of Standard 10th, welcome to the e-learning classes of DAV Moyle Public School. Subject Science. Our today's topic is heterotrophic mode of nutrition. Heterotrophic nutrition. Each organism is adapted to its environment. The form of nutrition differs depending on the type and availability of food material as well as how it is obtained by the organisms. For example, whether the food source is statutory or mobile would allow us for differences in how the food is accessed and what is the nutritive apparatus used by a cow and a lion. There is a large range of strategies by which the food is taken in and used by the organism. Some organisms break down the food material inside the body and then absorb it. Examples are fungi like bread moss, yeast, and mushrooms. Others taken in whole material and break it down inside their body. What can be taken in and broken down depends on the body design and functioning. Some other organisms derive nutrition from plants and animals without killing them. The parasitic nutritive strategy is used by a wide variety of organisms like cuscuta, tick, lice, leeches, and tapeworm. How do organisms obtain their nutrition? Since the food and the way it is obtained differ, the digestive system is different in various organisms. In single-celled organisms, the food may be taken in by the entire surface, but as the complexity of the organism increases, different parts become specialized to perform different functions. For example, amoeba take, takes in food using temporary fingers like extension of the cell surface which fuse other the food particles, forming a food vacuole, which we look in the given figure, which we see in the given figure. Inside the food vacuoles, complex substances are broken down into simpler ones, which then diffuse into the cytoplasm. The remaining undigested material is moved to the surface of the cell and in paramecium, which is also a unicellular organism, the cell has a definite shape and food is taken in at a specific spot. Food is moved to the spot by the movement of cilia which covered the entire surface of the cell. Nutrition in human beings. The alimentary canal is basically a long existing from the mouth to the anus, which we see in the figure. We can see that the tube has different parts. Various regions are specialized to perform different functions. That or what happens to the food once it enters our body. We shall discuss this process. We eat various type of food which has to pass through the same digestive tract. Naturally, the food has to be processed to generate particles which are small and of the same texture. This is achieved by crushing the food with our teeth. Since the lining of the canal is soft, the food is also weighted to make its passage smooth. When we eat something we like, our mouth waters. This is actually not only water but a fluid called saliva secreted by the salivary glands. Another aspect of the food we ingest is its complex nature. It is to be absorbed from the alimentary canal. It has to be broken into smaller molecules. This is done with the help of biological catalysts called enzymes. The saliva contains an enzyme called salivary amylase that breaks down starch, which is a complex molecule, to the given simple sugar. The food is mixed thoroughly with saliva and moved around the mouth while chewing by the muscular tongue. It is necessary to move the food in a regulated manner along the digestive tube so that it can be processed properly in each part. The lining of canal has muscles that contract rhythmically in order to push the food forward. This persistent movement occurs along the gut. From the mouth, the food is taken to the stomach through the food pipe or esophagus. The stomach is a large organ which expands when food enters it. The muscular walls of the stomach helps in mixing the food thoroughly with more digestive juices. The digestion in stomach is taken care by the gastric glands present in the wall of the stomach. These release hydrochloric acid, a protein digesting enzyme called pepsin, and mucus. The hydrochloric acid creates an acidic medium which facilitates the action of the enzyme pepsin. What other functions do you think it is served by the acid? The mucus protects the inner lining of the stomach from the action of the acid under normal conditions. We have often heard adults complaining about acidity. Can this be related to what has been discussed above? The edicts of the food from the stomach is regulated by a sphincter muscles which released it in small amount into the small intestine. From the stomach, the food now enters the small intestine. This is the longest part of the alimentary canal, which is fitted into a compact space because of the existing choline. The length of the muscle or small intestine differed in various animals depending on the food they eat. Herbivores eating grass need a longer small intestine to allow the cellulose to be digested. Meat is easier to digest, hence carnivores like tigers have a short small intestine. The small intestine is the site of the complete digestion of carbohydrate, protein and fats. It receives the secretion of the liver and pancreas for this purpose. The food coming from the stomach is acid and has to be made alkaline for the pancreatic enzyme to act. Bile juice from the liver completes this in addition to acting on fats. Fats are present in the intestine in the form of large globules which makes small globules increasing the efficiency of enzyme actions. This is similar to emulsifying actions of soap on the dirt that we have learned about in the previous chapter. The pancreatic or pancreas secretes pancreatic juice which contains enzymes like trypsin for digesting proteins and lipid for breaking down emulsified fats. The walls of the small intestine contains glands which secrete intestine juice. The enzymes present in it finally converted the proteins to amino acid, the complex carbohydrate into glucose, and fats into fatty acid and glycerols. Digested food is taken up by the walls of the intestine. The inner lining of the small intestines has numerous finger-like projections called villi which increase the surface area for absorption. The villi are richly supplied with blood vessels which take the absorbed food to each and every cell of the body where it is utilized for obtaining energy, building up new tissues and the repair of the old tissues. The unabsorbed food is sent into the larger intestine where its wall absorbs more water from this material. The rest of the material is removed from the body by the anus. The exit of the waste material is regulated by the anal sphincter. Now it's time to check your knowledge about today's topic. Here are some questions as your assignment. I hope you understand today's topic. We again meet with new video. Till then, stay at home, be safe, be happy.